what I was telling is, before Newton gave these three laws of motion, correct? Entire mankind was suffering. Now, why these people are suffering? Because they had no clear-cut idea that how objects will move when force will be exerted on the object, where the object will go, what will be the acceleration, whether it will move or not. All these sort of confusions were there before Newton gave these laws, right? So at that time, if you make a assumption, or you can say some dramatic transformation, if we talk about, then people started praying, we are suffering, and some of them did tapasya also. All right. So when people were doing so much of prayers and tapasya, one day Newton appeared in front of uh, common public like us, and Newton said, "What happened? Why you are bothering me?" Then they said, "Sir, we are suffering." Newton said, "Tell me what is the problem." So they said that, "Sir, we don't know how these objects will move, when force will be exerted on that, what will be acceleration. We don't know about that also." So Newton said, "Don't worry, I'll give you three wishes, and those three wishes will be three laws of motions." All right. And after that, Newton gave those three laws, and people were very happy. "Sir, you are the greatest person ever born. You are the only God," like that. So when Newton gave these three laws of motion, and people became so happy after that, they were about to go back to their places happily. Suddenly, Newton said a small thing, but there is a condition. But there is a condition when you are applying these laws of motion. Then people became very, disappointed. What is this terms and conditions, even with the God of physics? So, but still, they had to ask, "Sir, what are these conditions? What is that condition?" So Newton said that my laws of motion, or Newton's law of motion, Newton's law of motion are applicable only in unaccelerated frame. Unaccelerated frame. Okay. So Newton's law of motion are applicable only in unaccelerated frame. All right. So unaccelerated frame, he gave them a name also. So please write, on the basis of acceleration. On the basis of acceleration, frame of references. Frame of references are of two types. On the basis of acceleration, frame of references are of two types. Number one, inertial frame of reference. Inertial frame of reference. Number two, non-inertial frame of reference. Okay. So on the basis of acceleration, frame of references are of two types. Number one, inertial frame of reference. Number two, non-inertial frame of reference. So now let me talk about the first one, inertial frame of reference. Inertial frame of reference. Okay. So inertial frame of reference are those frame of reference which do not accelerate. Okay, so inertial, let me write it once again fully. Inertial frame of reference, inertial frame of reference are inertial frame of reference are those frame of reference, inertial frame of reference are those frame of reference which do not accelerate. Which do not accelerate. Inertial frame of reference are those frame of reference which do not accelerate. Okay, so such frame of references which are non-accelerating. Now, what do you mean by non-accelerating? Non-accelerating means there are two conditions. Listen very carefully. Number one, either the frame of reference is at rest or it is moving with constant velocity. Because if it is moving with constant velocity, then also acceleration is zero. Okay, so an inertial frame of reference can be an inertial frame of reference, an inertial frame of reference can be either at rest, can be either at rest or moving with constant velocity. Okay, so inertial frame of references can either be at rest or moving with constant velocity. So basically, acceleration of frame of reference has to be zero. Acceleration of frame of reference has to be zero. And as you remember the condition, Newton's law are applicable. Newton's law of motion are applicable only in inertial frame of reference. Okay, so basically if you want to apply Newton's law, you can apply them only in inertial frame of references. All right, so wherever we have applied Newton's law so far, at all those places acceleration of frame of reference was zero. That means the observer which was observing the motion, that observer was not accelerating. All right. Now, when Newton put this condition that you can apply my laws only in inertial frame of reference, then people started again buttering. They said, "Sir, everyone, please keep your mics on mute, please." So when Newton put this condition that the Newton's laws of motion are applicable only in inertial frame of reference, then people, as I told you, started buttering. Sir, you are the god of physics. Newton said, yes, you are right. Sir, you are god of physics. Everything is under you only. Can there be some method, some upay? Sir, you can do anything, sir. I know. We know that, sir. So when people were so much flattering, then Newton said, yes, you can do something to apply my laws in non-inertial frame of reference also. Okay, you can do something to apply Newton's law. Everyone, please whose mic is muted? Please keep your mics muted. Thank you. So what I was telling you? Yes. So first let me write the definition of non-inertial frame of reference and then we'll be talking about that upay. All right. So next is non-inertial frame of reference. Non-inertial frame of reference. Such frame of references which are accelerated. Such frame of references. Such frame of references which are accelerated. Such frame of references which are accelerated are called non-inertial frame of reference. Okay. So if a frame of reference is accelerated, then it will be called non-inertial frame of reference. For example, suppose if a person is going in a car which is accelerating with 2 meters per square.
So what is the use of the word inertial in the frame of reference?
वही तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ, you become impatient. That's what I am telling you. If a person is going in a car which is moving with 2 meters per second square acceleration, then you cannot apply Newton's law in that frame. If you are observing from that car and if you want to apply Newton's law of motion, you cannot apply. Why? Because you are in a non-inertial frame of reference. Because you are in a non-inertial frame of reference. That's why people were buttering Newton to give some method, some upay. All right. So before we move to that method or upay, I am asking you a question, and my question is, what kind of frame of reference our Earth is? What kind of frame of reference our Earth is? What kind of frame of reference our Earth is not it. Tell me. What kind of frame of reference our Earth is? बताओ. Amod is saying inertial. Daryl is saying inertial. Arad is saying inertial, non-accelerated. No, if you are saying inertial, non-accelerated is automatically included in that. Rishikesh is saying inertial. Jeremiah is saying inertial. Hiram is saying inertial. Sanika is saying non-inertial. Oh my God. Sanika is saying non-inertial. Malakai is saying inertial. Raghavi is saying inertial. Quickly give your answers, everyone. Quickly. Spruha is saying inertial. Sakshi is saying inertial. Padma is saying inertial. Zenobia is saying inertial. Okay, everyone, let me tell you one interesting thing. Let me tell you one in Madhura is saying neither. Wah, Madhura, wah. Bah. Okay. By definition, as per rule, Earth is a non-inertial frame of reference. As per definition, not completely inertial. What is this not completely inertial? Are you mad or something? Sir, not completely mad. As per definition, Earth is non-inertial frame of reference. Okay, listen very carefully. But for sake of convenience, for sake of convenience, we assume it as inertial. Okay, we assume it as inertial. Understood? It is simply like, suppose someone is mad. So, as per reality, the person is mad, but for sake of convenience, we assume that the person is not mad. Okay, that's why this is interesting. In reality, as per physics, as per law, as per rule, Earth is non-inertial frame of reference. Do you know why? Because Earth is moving on a circular path revolving around the sun, and any object which is moving on a circular path is under accelerated motion or is performing accelerated motion. V square by R, centripetal acceleration. Remember? Arad is saying, oh yes, because the Earth accelerates when it comes a bit nearer to a orbit foci. No, it is always, Arad, it is always. It is nothing about near or far. It is nothing about near or far. It is always accelerated, always. Sanika is saying it is accelerated with respect to sun. Sanika, you are again using a wrong word. It is not accelerated with respect to sun. It is accelerated because its motion is circular. Because its motion is circular. It is not with respect to sun. It is not with respect to sun. It is accelerated. Understood?
So what did
Amod
you
is
write?
saying, huh?
For the convenience, we. What is the word?
Assume. Okay? Okay. Oh.
Yes, sir.
So, so basically, in reality, Earth is a non-inertial frame. But if we treat Earth as a non-inertial frame, our life will become very miserable. So to avoid that misery, day-to-day misery, what we do, we assume Earth as क्या बोल रहे हो? Please keep your mic on mute. Hmm? Yavin, Yavin, Yavin. All right. So why we are talking suddenly about non-inertial and inertial frame of reference? Because that's fine. Aradhya, that's fine. Rishikesh is asking, so revolution is non-inertial and rotational is inertial. Chotu. It is not about revolution, rotation. Any object which is performing circular motion is in accelerated motion. Any object which is in circular motion, that object has acceleration. Which acceleration? Centripetal acceleration. Because without centripetal acceleration, circular motion is not possible. All right. And if acceleration is present in the motion of object, then it is non-inertial frame. And it is non-inertial frame. All right. So we were talking about that people started buttering, requesting Newton, sir, please do something. We want to apply your laws, your holy laws, almighty Newton's laws in non-inertial frame of reference also. There could be some method, please tell us. So Newton said that if you want to apply Newton's law of motion in non-inertial frame of reference, you have to apply an extra pseudo force. Okay. So if Newton's law of motion are to be applied in non-inertial frame of reference, in non-inertial frame of reference, if Newton's law of motion are to be applied in non-inertial frame of reference, then one extra force need to be applied on the object, need to be applied on the object. This force is called pseudo force. This force is called pseudo force. This part is interesting, very interesting. Why we are calling it pseudo force? Because it is not real force, it is not existing. You are applying it just for sake of making your object ready such that Newton's law can be applied on it. Okay. So whenever motion of an object is observed from non-inertial frame of reference, one extra force is to be applied. All right. And that force is called pseudo force. So earlier, whichever forces you were applying, all those will be there. Apart from those forces, one extra force will be exerted on the object, and that force, my dear friends, will be called a pseudo force. All right. So how much is the pseudo force? So magnitude of pseudo force, F pseudo, is equal to M into A ref. Okay, so how much is the pseudo force? It is equal to M into A ref. So M is the mass of object which is under observation. Mass of object which is under observation. What is A ref? A ref is acceleration of frame of reference. Acceleration of frame of reference. So F pseudo is equal to M into A ref. This is the magnitude of force. This is the magnitude of force in vector form. In vector form. So in vector form, what you can do, or how we can write, let us see. So in vector form, F pseudo is equal to minus M into A ref vector. So what does it mean? Listen very carefully. direction of pseudo force will be opposite to the direction of acceleration of frame of reference. Okay, मित्रों, direction of pseudo force is opposite to the direction of
Can you please
acceleration
prolong a bit?
of frame of reference. Direction of acceleration of frame of reference. Scrolled.
Yes, a little.
Where were you? Have you joined just now?
So no, my network keeps on going away. I
Uh,
mean,
hmm. Hmm.
thanks.
Welcome. So, the two things which we have understood, everyone, please pay attention. Point number one, we need to apply pseudo force only when we are observing object motion from accelerated frame. This is point number one. So if somebody asks you, when do you apply pseudo force? Very simple. Pseudo force is applied on object only when its motion is observed from accelerated frame or non-inertial frame. You can use these two words interchangeably. Accelerated frame of reference can also be called as non-inertial frame of reference. Non-inertial frame of reference can also be understood as accelerated frame of reference. Okay. So when to apply, this is clear. How much will be the force? So F pseudo is equal to m into a ref. This is the magnitude of force. F pseudo is equal to m into a ref. M is the mass of object under observation. A ref is acceleration of frame of reference. Alright. Now comes the direction part. Because force is a vector quantity, you need to know in which direction force will be acting. Then my dear friends, the direction of force is opposite to the direction of acceleration of frame of reference. It is as simple as that. Okay. Let me give you a very simple question and then you will be realize that okay, how this is how pseudo force is to be applied. Question. An object of mass 5 kg is being observed. An object of mass 5 kg is being observed from a frame of reference. A frame of reference accelerating with a is equal to 3i plus 4j plus 5k. 3i plus 4j plus 5k meters per second square. An object of mass 5 kg is being observed from a frame of reference accelerating with a is equal to 3i plus 4j plus 5k meters per second square. Find pseudo force. Find pseudo force need to be applied on the object. Please find, everyone. Find. Please find.
So what have you written? FP, F vector P something.
F pseudo, pseudo, pseudo,
Okay.
sudoku.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, pseudo.
Yes, sir.
All right. Please solve. Noted, everyone. Everyone, please pay attention. Let me give you the solution. It is very difficult question. So F pseudo is equal to minus M into A ref vector. Minus sign is very difficult to put. And then value of 5 is to be written as 5 only. Again, very difficult task. And A ref, this is extremely difficult. You need to write it as 3 I cap plus 4j cap plus 5k cap. With so many difficulties, we are getting the answer as minus 15 I cap plus 20 j cap plus 25 k cap. This is your pseudo force. This is your pseudo force answer. Understood, everyone? It was very, very difficult. It was. Shivam is asking 3 question marks. What is that, Shivam? Shivama. What is that? Zenobia is saying, what did you say about magnitude? She said, long back. How of what, Shivam? How of what? We have learned this method here. Can't you see? You are asking how. How you are asking how? Hmm? How, Shivam? How? How can you ask this? बोलो. Okay, how is gone? Still question marks are there. We have used the formula which is taught to you. There is no cheating at all. Next question. Now that question mark is also gone. Question. This is a block. This is a block of, let's say, 5 kg. All right. This is a block of 5 kg. We are applying F is equal to 10 Newton. This surface is smooth, so you need not be worried about friction. This is a person A who is at rest. This is a person B who is moving with 2 meters per second square. So question says find acceleration of block number 1 with respect to A, number 2 with respect to B. Everyone, please find acceleration of block as seen by A, as seen by B. Now let me tell you very clearly, here A is at rest. So what kind of frame of reference A is? A is inertial frame of reference. Here B is moving with, this is B. B is moving with 2 meters per second square towards right. Arrow is going towards right, right? So what kind of frame of reference B is? B is non-inertial frame of reference. You need to keep all these things in mind and you need to solve these questions. Your time starts now. Please solve. Please solve. I hope you have done. Okay, everyone, please pay attention and see how things are happening with respect to A and B. Okay, so with respect to A, okay, so with respect to A, 5G will be acting downward, N will be acting upward, all right. So along vertical, N minus 5G is equal to 0, and that gives you N is equal to 50 Newton. That is 5G, which is of no use. Now along horizontal, what we can see, the only force is 10 Newton. So A will be F resultant upon mass. So 10 upon 5 is equal to 2 meters per second square. Okay. So acceleration with respect to A, is 2 meters per second square. All right. Now with respect to B, listen very carefully. B is an accelerated frame of reference or non-inertial frame of reference. So what we need to do, we need to apply a F pseudo. We need to apply a F pseudo, and in which direction? Opposite to the acceleration. Opposite to the acceleration. So I have made the arrow in opposite direction. How much will be the F pseudo? Mass of the object, which is 5, into acceleration of frame of reference, which is 2. So that is 10 Newton. Now what we can see with respect to B, along vertical is same. How much? N minus 5G is equal to 0. N is equal to 50 Newton. Along horizontal, what we can see, A is equal to F resultant by M. F resultant is 0. 10 minus 10 upon mass 5. A comes out to be 0. So acceleration with respect to B is 0. All right. All right. That is the answer. That is the answer. That is the answer. Okay, everyone. Okay. Please note. Please note. All right. If you have any doubt to ask, feel free to ask. If you have any doubt to ask, feel free to ask. Okay. Okay. Next question. Next question. This is an inclined plane of mass, let's say capital M. This is smooth. This is a small block of mass, small m. This is also smooth. And this is force F. So question says, find value of F. Find value of F such that Find value of f such that small m does not slip. Small m does not slip with respect to capital M. Okay. Everyone, please pay attention. We have one inclined plane, bigger mass. We have one smaller block, small m. All surfaces are smooth. You have applied a force F, and because of that force, the block is not moving, or you can say block is not falling or slipping with respect to capital M. So, how much should be that force? Please find. How much should be that force? Please find, everyone. At least attempt. Have you done? Sanika is saying m plus mg tan theta with a question mark. As I told you earlier, Amog is saying mg cos square theta. As I told you earlier, everyone please pay attention. As I told you earlier, whenever some situation is given in physics that okay, this is happening. Sakshi is saying mg, omg. As I told you earlier, whenever some situation is given that okay, this is happening. So what we need to do is we need to visualize and imagine that okay, this is happening. And after that we should see that what is the scenario. So in this question, listen very carefully. Everyone, I want your 100% attention now. So in this question, it is saying that small m is not slipping over capital M. It is not saying that the system is not moving. And obviously, when all surfaces are smooth, the bigger block has to move. That means this system has to move together. Okay. This system of capital M and small m will have to move. So as small m is not slipping over capital M, as small m is not slipping over capital M, as small m is not slipping over capital M, considering 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 small m plus capital M as system. Considering small m plus capital M system. Why? Because both are moving with same acceleration. Both are moving with same acceleration. So I am assuming that they are moving with acceleration A towards right. Why towards right? Because the force is applied along right only. So what we can write is F is equal to capital M plus small m into A. This is equation number 1. This is equation number 1. If we somehow get to know how much is the value of A, then our work is done. Then our task is done. Then our task is done. Why? Because then we can value and get the, then we can put the value and get the answer. Okay. So for that now we are going to consider small m. Okay. After considering m plus m as system, now we are going to consider small m as system. So considering small m as system. Now considering small m as system, listen very carefully everyone. So when we are considering small m as system, mg will be acting downward, correct? I am applying FBD. I am creating FBD of small m. N will be acting in this direction and a pseudo force. Why? Because A is accelerated frame. A is accelerated frame. So I need to apply a pseudo force. So a pseudo force will be F pseudo, and how much that will be small m, and how much is the acceleration A. So these three forces will be acting on the what I was telling you. Yeah. So as we are focusing on small m, listen very carefully, everyone. Listen very carefully. I am going to use a different color so that you can understand what is happening. Let me use red color. Pay attention. Now what I am doing, I am resolving these forces into components along the inclined and perpendicular to inclined. So mg along this will be mg cos theta and along incline will be mg sin theta. Similarly, this f pseudo will be ma sin theta and along this will be ma cos theta. Okay, so I have resolved gravitational force perpendicular to inclined as well as along the inclined. I have resolved pseudo force perpendicular to inclined and along the inclined. Okay, so perpendicular to the inclined plane. Perpendicular to the inclined plane. What you can see and observe is n minus mg cos theta minus ma sin theta should be equal to 0. Should be equal to 0. It is a useless equation, but yes. Okay. So perpendicular to the inclined plane is n minus mg cos theta minus ma sin theta is equal to 0. Along the inclined plane, along the inclined plane, so what we can see is mg sin theta is downward minus ma cos theta is upward and it should be equal to 0. Why? Because in this frame block is at rest. We have applied all this in wedge frame. So now we can simplify. So m got cancelled. So g sin theta is equal to a cos theta. This is equal to, sometimes people take it as z. So that gives us a is equal to g tan theta. Remember this acceleration also, my dear friends. Now let me put this value of a in equation 1. So putting, please note this, and then we are going to put the value and get the answer. Answer. So Sanika, your answer was right actually. Sanika is saying acceleration of m and small m will be same, right, when it is not slipping. Yes, Sanika, you are right. So putting value of putting a is equal to g tan theta in equation 1. So f will be m plus m g tan theta. Answer. F is equal to m plus m g tan theta. This is the answer. This is the answer. Any doubt, any question, anyone? Any doubt, any question, anyone? Any doubt, any question, anyone?
So can you just scroll up?
All right. Done.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Next question. Hmm. This is capital M. This is small m. This is a block. This is mu. This is smooth. Okay. And this is F. So what is happening, everyone? Please pay attention. There is a force F acting on capital M like this. And due to that, capital M will move. And while capital M is moving, small m is not falling. The block small m is not falling. So the question says find minimum value of F applied such that small m does not fall with respect to capital M. Please find, everyone. Please solve, please find.
So G is 10 only now.
G is G only. G is G.
Okay, sir.
Okay, G. Okay.
So is the answer G by nu?
I don't know. आप लोग गैस करते हो क्या? हम्म? आप गैस करते हो क्या बैठ के? चलो लेट मी गैस ऐसे टाइप. Okay, everyone, please pay attention. Enough time given. In this situation, again, the question is saying that small m is not falling with respect to capital M. That means slipping is not occurring between M and M. So as small m and capital M are moving together with same acceleration, considering them as system. So as small capital M and small m are moving together with same acceleration, considering them as system. Considering, rather than using them, let me call it m plus m, more clear. Considering m plus m as system. So what we can see is f is equal to m plus small m into a, equation number 1. I am considering that both are moving with acceleration a, like this. All right. So this is one equation which we have got by considering capital M and small m as system. Now I am going to consider small m as system and going to solve in frame of capital M. Now everyone keep your mind. Now considering small m as system and solving in frame of capital M. Okay. So now we are considering small m as system and we are solving it in frame of capital M. So what is going to happen? Please pay attention. First of all, 1 mg will be acting downward. All right. And it is not falling. That means some force will be in opposite direction also. That force will be friction, Fs max. We know how much is Fs max. Fs max is mu n. That means there should be n. N always acts perpendicular to system. So n will be this. And what is balancing n? So that will be pseudo force, F pseudo. And how much is that? M into A. So this is how things are happening for the small block. This is how things are happening for the small block. This is how things are happening for the small block. Okay. So let us talk about it. So along horizontal. So for small m along horizontal. Along horizontal, what we can see, n minus ma is equal to 0. So n comes out to be ma. Along vertical for small m. So what we can see is mg minus fs max is equal to 0 because there is no acceleration in vertical direction. Fs max is how much? Mu n. So Fs max is how much? Mu n. N is ma. N is ma. All right. So what we can write is, let me call this as equation 2. This is 3. This is 4. So by 3 and 4. By 3 and 4. Mg is equal to mu MA. That gives us A is equal to G by mu. A is equal to G by mu. If you want to put, you can find value of F. So putting value of A in equation 1. Putting A is equal to G by mu in equation 1, F comes out to be M plus M into G by mu. Answer. Answer. Please note. Please note everyone. Please note everyone. Any doubt, any question, anyone? Any doubt, any question, anyone? Okay. Okay. Next question. Where did you find it, Aradhya? Where did you find it? Question. There is a rotor. There is a rotor. So this is a rotor.
No, I think so. It was only the acceleration.
This is rotating with omega. This is axis. Okay. A rotor is basically hollow cylinder. And there is a block of mass m. Surface has mu. Question says a rotor is rotating with angular speed omega. Angular speed omega as shown. Find minimum value. Find minimum value of omega. Find minimum value of omega such that small m does not slip. Find minimum value of omega such that small m does not slip with respect to rotor. Okay, please find everyone. Please find. And you have 2 minutes to attempt because after that I'll be solving it. Okay, everyone, please pay attention. Everyone, please pay attention. In this question, let us focus on small m. So mg will be acting downward. There is no doubt about it. There is no doubt about it that mg will be acting downward. All right. Apart from that, n will be acting towards center. N will be acting towards center. Friction Fs max will be acting towards upward, because if friction is not acting upward, then what is balancing mg? Which force is balancing mg? Only friction can balance. So friction is acting upward. Now motion of rotor, or you can say block, is circular, so centripetal acceleration will be there. Now to avoid that, we are applying a pseudo force, F pseudo, and that is m into a. Okay, so again, for small m along horizontal, so what we can write, n minus ma is equal to 0, and that gives us n is equal to m. A will be omega square r. R is this radius. Okay, so n will be m omega square r. This is along horizontal. Now along vertical. So along vertical, what we can see is mg, which is acting downward, minus fs max, which is acting upward, and it has to be equal to 0. It has to be equal to 0. So mg minus fs max will be nothing but mu n, that will be equal to 0. Now mg minus mu, well, how much is value of n? So n is m omega square r, and that is equal to 0. So when we consider this and cancel we get G is equal to mu omega square r. Omega comes out to be G by mu r. Omega is root of G by mu r. Answer. Okay, everyone. Please note. Please note.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, can you just explain me the how you get equation 1?
Okay. See, N is acting in horizontal, yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
What kind of frame this rotor is? It is accelerated frame, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So if you are observing from rotor, then you have to apply a pseudo force. And pseudo force will be mass of the object and acceleration of rotor. Acceleration A is how much? Omega square r. Acceleration A is omega square r. You remember A is equal to V square upon R? Do you remember A is equal to V square upon R? V is
Yes,
equal
sir.
to R. V is equal to R omega. So these two will give you this.
Uh-huh. Applying this
Okay.
formula, we will get this. Okay, sir,
Yeah.
understood.
Okay. Okay. Any doubt, any question, anyone? Okay, so that is how we study all these things. In the next class, we'll be studying further. Keep solving questions, keep learning. See you tomorrow. All right, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.